Today we're going to build a flip cart that allows you to hold two tools. I'm going to be using my little router table and my sander. Pretty quick and easy, no frills build here. I had some leftover 3/4 inch plywood, so that's what I've used. But we're just going to walk through the entire operation. It took me about a total of 5 hours. I did it over a 2-day period.
So I've cut all my pieces for the base for the flip cart, and now we're going to get ready to go ahead and drill the holes and make the notches. So in order to drill your hole in the proper location, from the top of your stand down, you want to be at 2 inches. Then you just simply measure. Here it's 21 1/4. Divide that by 2, which makes it 10 5/8. And then 10 5/8, make your mark. 10 5/8, make your mark. You're centered. And that's where you drill your 3/4 inch hole. So I'm using a piece of 3/4 inch galvanized pipe, and so my Forstner bit needs to actually be 1 inch to allow for the clearance. So I'm just creating a quick jig to make sure that the holes line up. So I cut this on the drill press and then do it by the hand drill over on the actual flip top cart. Okay, so we'll take that over and lay it on the cart. Okay, so we have our 2 inches in, and then our 10 5/8 center. If we just line this up, now we'll just clamp that into place and drill away.
So it's real important to get that jig in place and get everything all clamped together. That's both sides sandwiched together with clamps. And I'll use the 1 inch Forstner bit to drill through both sides of the cart. I got to point out that you really have to keep your drill as straight as you can here, or it's going to bind. Your pipe will bind. So take your time. And as you can see, it was a perfect hole. Pipe has no binds. Should work great. So here we're going to add the slots, which are at the top of the cart as well. And what these notches or slots are for are to receive the eye bolt and thumb screw that's going to tighten the top of this flip cart. So I just start with a Forstner bit, 3/8 inch Forstner bit, and then use the jigsaw to finish off the groove.
So we mark the boards for the pocket holes on both bottoms and then the center section that goes in.
So using a Craig jig, which is awesome for creating pocket holes, makes this really super strong. However, this is probably the most time-consuming part of the process of getting all these pocket holes drilled. So putting the cabinet together, these clamps work great. They're a little expensive, but they're well worth it if you're going to be building. You know, I just build shop furniture, and I don't really build anything else as far as cabinetry goes. And I don't have a ton of time either, so I just whip this stuff together when I need it, when I have some downtime. So we have that one side attached, and now we're just attaching the next side. And using those clamps again, which are just absolutely awesome. So this is the back portion of the cart. So we just put a solid piece of 4.5-inch, 3/4-inch ply to just strengthen it up a little. It's also going to provide for a shelf and a drawer opening as well.
So next is going to be putting on the bottom shelf where the drawer is going to fit in. So I made these two 4.5-inch spacers to line up with the back here. I didn't realize the camera wasn't recording, but the first thing I installed was the galvanized pipe holders. So basically it's just 2x2s ripped down to 1 inch and then spaced 1 inch apart exactly so that galvanized pipe will fit through there. So I went ahead and I attached the two 1-inch pieces here to allow the pipe to fit and flip. And then I just put a temporary piece here so I can just test how everything fits. It's a little snug, but I'll do some sanding. It also allows me to make sure that all lines up. So we want this portion where the eye bolt is, and that allows you to line up this opening you've made for the eye bolt with where the thumb screw is going to go. And I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a pretty darn good fit. So I like mocking it all up first, just to be sure, especially since this is the first time I've done this. So in order to receive the eye bolts, which are going to allow this to swivel and lock, you need to cut out 2 tenons on each side of the stringers that are going to run the width of the flip cart. So in order to accomplish this, I built a jig. Just slides right over. Very simple. Again, I don't know how well you can see this. So the blade is right up on the first mark. And then all we have to do is simply take it out of that clamp, flip it over, and make another cut. And you'll be leaving with a little bit in the center, but you can take that out with the bandsaw if you like. You just rotate it. And you end up with that. Like I said, you can either move your table saw blade over a little bit, your fence, and cut that out, or you can do it on the bandsaw. But before you do that, so you have the right dimensions, you want to do the same thing to the other side. Then I just use a chisel to clean it up a little. So we have all our blocks cut. Just simply screw those in. So now I just cut two pieces of scrap plywood, and this is to allow a little more area to mount the tools that you're going to be mounting. So now we'll just drop our pipe in. And place our other side of the flip cart. So you just push the pipe off to one side. A little haphazard there, but I think clamps might work a little better. So we're going to have this hardware mounted in here, and it's going to be bolted in by these 3/8 bolts. So we need to countersink those bolts. The notches and the countersink is to allow you to take the thumb screw, gives it a ton of strength, and you of course got 4 of them.
So you have your slots in the side that we created earlier, and also your notch here that we made on the table saw jig, and that's to receive this eye bolt. Simply goes through like that. Here's the thumb screw. So we'll put that on real quick. So I see some people use a bigger thumb screws. I don't know why, but and you got your 3/8 inch bolt. Put a washer on. Fits right perfectly in that countersink hole. It's below the top of the flip cart. Oh, then we have another washer, and then I highly recommend a lock screw, or lock nut, I should say. Just take the 7/16 socket, a wrench. And you can see how it moves freely inside. Takes a little while to tighten, but you need the extra clearance to flip the tool.